We're also following a troubling warning about Russia and a new missile that could strike the U.S. east and west coasts, possibly with a nuclear warhead. We're covering all angles of the story with our correspondents and our guests, including the former NATO Supreme Allied Commander, retired General Wesley Clark. But let's begin with the Pentagon. Our Barbara Starr is joining us with more on that disturbing warning about the threat of Russian missiles. Barbara, what are you hearing?
Wolf, Russia has the world's largest stockpile of nuclear weapons, but now Moscow is upping its game on the conventional weapons side, leading to a lot of questions whether Russia is arming up for a new Cold War. Defending against Vladimir Putin's Russian military aggression is about to get harder. The head of NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Command, warning a new generation of Russian cruise missiles could strike critical military radars and missiles inside the United States.
The development of the cruise missiles that they have that have a very long range, that from eastern Russia, they can range critical infrastructure in Alaska and in Canada that we rely on for a homeland defense mission.
This is the missile, the KH-101. It's a non-nuclear, long-range cruise missile now in the final stages of Russian development. Its 2,000-mile-plus range gives the Russians the ability to fire from near their own coastline. It's highly precise, flies low, and is difficult to detect.
If we don't have the ability to detect it, we can't defend against it.
That means not just Alaska is at risk, but even the eastern United States from potential missile launches in the Atlantic. Gortney telling Congress, over time, NORAD will face increased risk in our ability to defend North America against Russian air, maritime, and cruise missile threats. Russia already has doubled its long-range Bear bomber patrols around U.S. coastlines in the last year. Now, 10 a year, more than 100 around Europe, the most flights since the Cold War. In the last month, several U.S. officials publicly sounding warning.
Russia's provocations are only more worrisome in light of Vladimir Putin's intense focus on building up and modernizing Russia's military forces.
The top U.S. commander in Europe even raising nuclear weapons concerns.
There are those dual-use weapon systems that could very easily be nuclear or non-nuclear, and our ability to tell the difference between one and the other is very tough, and this is very worrisome.
Now, those increased Russian air patrols, some of it is perhaps Moscow thumbing its nose at the United States, but the U.S. military is worried that also Russia is very deliberately pinging the U.S. air defense system to see how NORAD responds. Wolf?
Very disturbing stuff indeed. All right, Barbara, thank you. The missile